Closing and staying consistent. Celebrating 30 years on the air on WROI is the first federal program. Hosts may have changed, but the program is still the same. Now continuing a long-standing tradition, streaming on the First Federal Facebook page and on WROI. It's time for the First Federal program.
And it is time for the First Federal program here, halfway through the month of November, the 15th of the month, and we welcome Todd, Tanner, and Ben to the program. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Randy.
Morning.
How we doing?
Morning. Got a great trio. Got Ben Daulton here today with us.
Crazy.
Whole First Federal show this morning.
Yes, I feel, bombarded here all of a sudden.
We all have the
Yeah,
logo wearing.
I know. I'm out dressed today.
All different colors, but
Yeah.
all logo
I like
wearing.
that.
Halfway
Variety.
through the month.
Yeah, can you believe it?
No.
Turkey will be here before you know it.
Thanksgiving's right upon us. College basketball's now 2 weeks in. College football's got the prime last few weeks of the season, regular season going on. NFL's over the halfway point.
These are like 40 days out from Christmas, too.
Yeah.
Todd,
I'm gonna get on my shopping.
Todd, you just had to go there, didn't you?
Start your shopping. Shop local.
Anybody started their shopping in here?
I've done one item,
Okay.
just because I found it on sale, and I'm like, it may not go back on sale again.
I cannot lie, I have not.
All right, I haven't either. I didn't want to be the lone person. I was like, after I threw that out there, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
That
But just
come
one
as
item.
no surprise to any of my family members. So.
Now, my wife probably has started, but not me. I got one.
But like Todd mentioned, shop local for sure. They got a small business Saturday coming up here in a couple weeks, so there should be a lot of good deals going on. And it's always great to support the local merchants and then vendors out there. So
Always a fun time. Get out and see what they've got.
yeah,
Great deals. Don't have to go very far.
no snow yet.
That is an even better deal.
Yes.
It's even actually some decent temperatures.
Yeah, it's-
Finally getting some moisture that we need.
Yeah, so
Farmers will be happy.
I did see yesterday. There's maybe a slight chance in the next week. Maybe we could see
Yeah,
a
there's a
first
cold
snow.
front coming in with some wind chills down in the 20s.
I'd be all for it, and I think I mentioned this before on the radio show. I'm the type of person that it could snow right around Christmas time
And be done.
and be done and not snow the rest of the year.
December 24th, snow. Christmas snow. December 26th, melt and warm back up.
Yep,
Perfect.
yep.
That's the plan, then, right?
Yeah, it never works out.
No, we don't have that control.
And if it's going to get as cold as what they're saying, we do need a little snow on the insulation. So
That's a good
yeah.
point. So, I brought some trivia with me today. It's got nothing to do with snow or winter or any of that, but it's actually got to do with cereal.
Cereal.
I want to know, what is the most searched cereal on Google?
Oh wow.
Is it Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, Raisin Bran, or Rice Krispies?
Why would you search cereal?
Yeah, I just go to the store. I don't
And just
Google
pull
it.
out
I
the
just,
shelf.
yeah.
You've got your favorites, right?
Yeah, there are a couple of the favorites.
Well, some people might search these for recipes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Huh.
Mr. Homemaker.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Eddie Crocker here.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that Nick's Carey in at First Federal?
Oh, great, yeah.
He can research it.
Bowl of cereal. No,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Here's my
He Googled it. That's what I said to do.
Got a lot of sports going on the high school side. Got girls basketball underway.
Yeah, 3-0.
Lady Zebras 3-0. Good win the other night over North Miami.
Wasn't pretty, but as Coach Burr says, hey,
What did I
it's
see?
a win.
1 point win.
1 point
North
win.
Miami had 21 turnovers that
Yeah.
North Miami had.
Yeah.
So,
It was a thriller.
yeah. Yeah. So
Second half, totally different. It was 14-14 halftime. Ended up 42-41.
Yeah, different halves
Yeah.
there. Rochester's off tonight, but they travel to Northwood tomorrow night. Northwood's 1-0, but they are in action tonight. So will it be 1-1 or 2-0 tomorrow? Are you guys on the call tomorrow?
No,
for
we're
that?
not.
Nope.
Off tomorrow. Yep.
Okay. Tippecanoe Valley's 1-2 to start the season. They're at Laville tonight, who is 1-0. Caston's 0-3. They host North White tonight, who is 1-0. Winamac's 2-1. They're at Caston tomorrow night.
Start their conference call.
Culver starts their season tonight.
Because
They
of
have
the success in volleyball,
Yeah. They're at Westville, excuse me,
Yes.
who's 3-0 tomorrow night. Argus 2-2. They're at Elkhart Christian tomorrow night. So a lot of games going on tonight and tomorrow.
Yes. Crazy. We're getting Getting into the heat of the season. A lot of
Heat of the
conferences
season.
starting and playing.
Absolutely, and why we'll stick with basketball, college basketball. There's a big in-state college game tonight. Purdue hosts Alabama, number 2 Alabama tonight at 7 o'clock on Peacock.
Yeah.
So once again, if you don't have your Peacock subscription, better get that.
How you feeling about that?
Alabama's a 2-point favorite. Let me put that out there. It's going to take Purdue's best effort, I think, to pull it out tonight. But Purdue hadn't lost a non-conference game in 3 years, but they haven't hosted a team that's highly ranked in Mackey Arena from non-conference since UCLA in the debut game of Mackey Arena in the late 1960s.
Wow.
So it's been a long time.
And they haven't
since-
lost at home in
Yeah, it's
several
been
years,
quite
hasn't
a
it?
while. They went undefeated at home last year. They lost at home 2 years ago, some
Okay.
conference games.
Right.
They haven't lost a non-conference game at home in quite a while.
Yeah.
But Alabama's a team that also made the Final Four last year, brought back a lot of talent, got some transfer portal talent. So it's gonna take Purdue's best effort tonight to pull it off.
You going?
I am not. My dad is.
Okay.
I am not. This was one of the harder tickets to get on the secondary market in many years. So it's pretty pricey one tonight.
Mackey's a tough place to play, so it's gonna.
It is.
Alabama's gonna have to come
Yeah,
with their best.
yeah, they're going to need the Mackey magic tonight, I guess, a little bit. But it's exciting to play a team of that caliber.
kidding.
Then they turn around Tuesday and play at Marquette.
Oh wow.
So they're turning out the gauntlet on their non-conference
You
schedule a
know,
little bit.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
Gets you ready for
yeah,
the conference.
they're probably going to take some lumps, but
Yeah.
get them ready. Indiana hosts a Power 4 school this weekend as well. They host South Carolina tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I don't know what TV network that's on.
Don't know.
I was trying to search it on my app, and it didn't show
It didn't
because
show.
college football, it's
Right.
button up,
Yeah,
so it's not Big Ten Network, it's not ESPN,
It's not the Signetti.
The Signetti
not the
Network.
Cincinnati Network.
Since they're off, yeah, it might be.
So I don't know if it's. I mean, I think it's too big of a opponent to be on Big Ten Plus, but it might be. I don't know.
We'll see.
And Butler hosts SMU tonight at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports 2. Butler's already had a loss this season. Austin Peay upset them at Hinkle Fieldhouse last week.
According to my IU app, it is Peacock.
Peacock, okay. All right.
Okay, so I let my Peacock subscription
Way to go, Tom.
go because the teaser pricing ran out.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to read
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah.
I've looked for that pricing. They don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because I think the app I was using doesn't show if your
Yeah.
name's on Peacock, so that makes sense. And then Notre Dame's at Georgetown tomorrow at 1 o'clock on NBC.
Mhm.
Which Notre Dame football's also on NBC tomorrow against Virginia at 3:30. So if you're a Notre Dame fan, just set it on
Just
NBC.
just turn on
You're
NBC.
good for the day.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's not in the Big East, are they? Basketball.
ACC.
ACC.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So, which I know head coach Michael Shrewsbury just signed their best recruiting class of the modern era this
he's-
week. So he's done a good job on recruiting trails. So, in college football, like I said, Notre Dame's hosting Virginia tomorrow at 3:30 on NBC. Virginia's 5-4, but Notre Dame's a 23-point favorite
Wow.
in this one. This is their senior day. They play Army next week at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Then they go to USC. So I think if Notre Dame takes care of these last 3 games, I think they're pretty solidly in the playoff, which a lot of their fans didn't think would be the case after the Northern Illinois loss earlier this year. But
In a couple of games, the way they started.
yeah, blessing in disguise, I think, looking back on it. I think he got them focused pretty early on. So Indiana, big win over Michigan, first 10-win season in program history.
Indiana's now accepting applications for the home football game on the 21st or 20th for the
And
college football playoff.
That is no joke. And probably something you didn't think you'd be
Never thought I'd say those words.
saying.
Yeah.
But I did register last week.
As you should.
I got the email. I haven't decided. I might.
They're up to number 5
Yeah.
in the playoff rankings, and they have a bye week this week to get ready for the trip to Columbus next week, which will, I'm assuming it'll be the college game day game. I know it's the Fox Big Noon game,
Yeah.
which I've seen. Ohio State's had 6 straight noon kickoffs.
Yeah.
next
It's
week.
crazy.
So they've been the Fox Big
When
Noon
they
game
flex that
almost
to
every week.
Yeah.
like prime time.
I know.
And they may. They may flex that. I mean, they
Well,
give.
Fox
They give
likes
a
that
week.
noon spot.
They do.
Yeah.
But
I was listening to a sports podcast this morning actually, and said that's what happens when you sell your soul to the TV.
Oh yeah,
They
they
own you.
control.
They own you,
They control
yeah.
it. Well, I know the Fox Big Noon game this week is out in Colorado.
okay.
10 a.m.
That's a 10 a.m.
Boulder
kickoff
time.
at
Wow.
Mountain Time, so kind of interesting there.
Not really noon. Then.
No,
Yeah.
So Ohio State plays who this weekend?
Northwestern at Wrigley Field.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that.
They'll have more
So-
fans than the Northwestern will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Easily.
easily. So I think they're 28-point favorites in that one against
Yeah.
Northwestern. So yeah,
How big of a letdown would that be if Northwestern wins?
that would be a big. I mean,
Well,
yeah,
as an IU fan, I'm not sure you want that.
they'd be
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
angry
mad.
coming in.
Yeah, I would rather they blow
Yeah.
Northwestern
Yeah.
out and come out with more
Yeah.
confidence than
Yeah.
they have since.
Well, and it's interesting the spot the IU game is on the Ohio State schedule because usually you want to be in that spot because they're going to probably overlook you at Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's not the case this year with Indiana having a great season.
Yeah,
They can't afford to overlook
No.
them. So, and then Purdue also does play this weekend.
Oh, they're still playing?
Unfortunately, their senior day tomorrow. They host number 4 Penn State,
Okay.
and Penn State's a 28.5-point favorite. That game's at 3:30 on CBS. So, you know, Fox last week against Ohio State, CBS this week against Penn State. It just doesn't end.
Well, it's kind of what we were talking about with IU's roster, not playing Oregon, not playing some of these others. Unfortunately, that season was, set a year ago or 2 years ago, depending, I think,
Yep.
how far Big Ten goes out. But
Yep.
Yeah.
And Purdue got the
Yeah.
other end of the schedule this year.
Yeah.
Yep. Played. Well, they haven't even played Indiana yet, but they played Oregon. They played Ohio State. They played Penn State. They played Notre Dame. Yeah.
It could be worse, Tanner. I was scrolling through TikTok this morning, and Kent State, the Golden Flashes,
Yeah.
they've lost 19 straight games.
That's pretty
They're
bad.
0-10 this year. They
Yeah,
play
that's.
Oh, wow.
I think Akron and Buffalo the
Yeah.
last 2 games this
Yeah.
year, so they're hoping for a Hail Mary.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe,
rough.
maybe we can get them on the schedule next year.
Yeah, I like that idea. Make a few phone calls there. In the NFL, both teams, or the local favorite teams, are looking for something to turn their seasons around.
They're just looking for something.
The Bears are 4-5. They host the Packers, of course, longtime rival there, 6-3. Packers have won 10 straight in this series. Packers are 5-point favorites. That game is Sunday at 1:00 on Fox. The Colts are 4-6. Another QB change, going back to Anthony Richardson now for the
And that was
rest
interesting.
of the year.
Because on Monday
Monday,
press
they-
conference, he was
They sticking with Flacco.
Yep, Flacco.
Somebody had to talk with him.
Tuesday, not so much. Sorry, Flacco.
Maybe it's just 3 interceptions last
Ye-
Sunday.
Yeah, that didn't help.
Yeah, they definitely did help.
Subpar
They're,
performance.
They're at the Jets, who are 3-7, a team that's.
Maybe they're hoping here.
Well, Jets are 4-point favorites. That's 1:00 on CBS. You can listen to it right here on
You
WRI.
Noon pregame.
Which I think it's more fun to listen to the home commentators.
Oh, Matt does a great job.
Got some tidbits here this morning. On this day in 1777, the Articles of Confederation, the first Constitution of the United States, was approved by the Continental Congress.
Okay.
On this day in 1969, Wendy's opened its first restaurant
Really?
in Columbus, Ohio, where they're still actually they're headquartered in Dublin, Ohio, if you want to be real accurate there. On this day in 2001, Microsoft released the first Xbox game console in the U.S. Now they've had 5 different versions, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Hard to believe that's almost 25 years old.
Yeah, it is. I didn't remember it being that early. I remember when it came out, but I thought it was about 03 or 04. I didn't remember it so long. On this day in 2013, Sony launched the PlayStation 4, and it sold 1 million units on the first day.
That's a bunch.
Yeah. I don't know how many they sold of the PS5 a few years ago. And on this day in 2019, Joker movie became the first R-rated film to earn $1 billion worldwide.
Wow.
Which I thought was pretty interesting.
Terry, before we move on, I want to go back a couple things in the
Yeah.
sports world.
Yes.
We want to give a shout out to McConaughey and North Miami, both playing for regional
Yes.
titles tonight. So
Yes.
I know not a lot of media coverage, unfortunately, where they're at, so we want to give them a shout out. Congratulations, first time in McConaughey school history for a sectional title. So North Miami, it's been several years since they've been there, so good luck to both of them.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, Randy. I meant to give
Yeah.
a shout out to North Miami, and I wasn't aware that McConaughey was still
Yeah.
playing either. So,
Yep.
and in North Miami, it's interesting their matchup. Their opponent, who escaped me off the
South
top of my head,
Adams.
they're 7-5,
Yeah,
so they've got hot at the right time.
they did.
themselves.
North Miami 10-2 on the year,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Where's that game at?
that's at South Adams, over in Bern, Indiana.
Burn and eat.
Yeah, Bern with an E. And then McConaughey gets to host Fort Wayne
Lures.
Lures.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Tough game.
yeah.
Yeah, they're one of
The city
few
boys
four
coming in the
wings.
cornfield.
Yep. Oh yeah. They're one of the
Bunker Hill.
Yep.
they're one of the few 4-wing schools still
Yeah.
in it up there.
So good luck to those two
Yeah.
area schools.
And not too bad. I mean, I know it's a
No.
little drizzly right now, but
Right.
temperature wise,
For
could be a lot
late
worse.
This
Could be a lot
late
worse right
November.
now. So.
We remember a few other cold ones, don't
Yeah.
you, Ben? In November.
It's a little bit later in the season, but yeah, starting to go on cold November Friday night. Very well.
The national days and world days, international days. Today's National Drummer Day, National Recycling Day, which that's a good day. National Bunt Day, as in bunt cakes.
Those are good.
National Camp T-Shirt Day. Steve Irwin Day, which he passed away about a decade or so ago now. I want to say maybe a little longer, but his son now
Yeah, carrying the torch.
sounds just like him, looks just like him, just carrying the torch. I Love to Write Day, National Philanthropy Day, National Spicy Hermit Cookie Day.
Huh.
I
No idea.
don't even really know what that is, but
No.
it looked like the
Yeah.
picture online looked close to a chocolate chip cookie, so I don't know. National Raisin Bran Day, the house is going to follow.
Cool.
So public's invited
Congratulations,
there,
Ben.
yeah. Yeah, they do great work. 18 homes, that's a great accomplishment. Andretti's Place is holding a Dine and Donate event this Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to donate Joe's Hope and the Fulton County United Way. This is a cash-only free will donation. Dine-in and carry-outs available, as well as curbside service. The meal sponsors Odell Lumber and Supply, and the egg sponsors Creighton Brothers. So,
Great breakfast.
yeah, go get yourself a good breakfast. It benefits a few great organizations there. So, there you go, man.
Breakfast ready for you.
I could eat some right
Yeah, First Federal, we are open from 8:30 to 5 today, and tomorrow from 8:30 to noon. We'd love to see you in our lobbies, but if you can't make it in, no worries. You can always make this online or with our mobile app, which is free to download, no matter if you have an Android device or an iPhone. Go to the Google Store or the App Store, and type in First Federal Savings Bank, or you can type in FFSB Rochester, I believe is the other one you can type in. Either one works. And look for the white star and green background, and you're halfway there. And our ATM's open 24/7 as well if you need some cash, and we're part of the MoneyPass network. So if you're traveling over the weekend and you're in an area that doesn't have a First Federal ATM, no worries. Just go to moneypass.com, type in your location, you'll find the other MoneyPass network ATMs. You can go there, use it, and you won't get charged a surcharge fee.
Perfect.
So it is very convenient. I use it quite often when I'm traveling. We offer Simply Free checking accounts and Simply Free business checking accounts. Right now, when you open up a new checking account, you'll get a free gift, which is a neck massage pillow. I was using mine last night,
Uh-huh.
so it works very well. It's very, very nice.
You can use it this weekend while you're watching football.
There you go. Sounds like a good plan to me. We also offer commercial lending for businesses. You can contact Zach Reuter for more information on what we offer. His direct line is 574-223-1731. And if you're thinking about retiring, wanting to get a 401k started, maybe roll over your 401k, IRAs, check on anything of that nature, contact Mark Blueball or Brian Bell of our Financial Services Department. They'd be happy to help you. Their direct line is 574-223-1705. And keep up to date with the latest going on at First Federal Savings Bank by liking us on Facebook, following us on X and Instagram at FF Banking is our handle on those two social media platforms. Like our LinkedIn page and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you can see an archive of the First Federal radio shows from the past 5 or 6 years. We're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. Don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We're FDIC insured and equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927.
Yeah, we're official.
Now we're official and ready for the fun part of the show, and everybody's probably like, wait, they didn't say anything about mortgage lending. Well, that's because special guest this morning is one of our mortgage loan originators at our Rochester and Winamac branch, Ben Daulton.
Good morning.
Morning, Ben. Thanks for joining me this
Hey,
morning.
you bet. Thanks for having me.
So, Ben, we were talking before we got on air about when you started at First Federal back in 1995.
Yeah, Randy greeted me with, I bet you can't remember the day you started. And I said, April 24th of 1995.
And I stood wrong.
Yeah.
So you've been with First Federal for a little while.
It'll be 30 years here this upcoming April.
Yeah,
so
which is
it's been an amazing ride, and can remember how I got hired. Just talk a little bit about that. I was, we got married in 1994 and was looking for a job after a failed management trainee session with a company out of Indianapolis that summer. I was looking for a job, went to Tom Wilson at the Lucas Street Fertilizer and Grain, and I got hired and spent the winter there. And I got home for lunch one day in early April of 05 or 95, and there's a message on our answer machine. Back then, we didn't have cell phones or voicemail, but anyway, it was Dick, and he said, "Ben, Dick Belcher here. We have an opening in the loan department. If you're interested, give me a call." Click. So I called him back, got an interview, got a second interview, and mind you, I was First National Bank. My dad banked at First National Bank. I had not set foot in First Federal until the day I got interviewed, and to see that glass office, walking in there, talk about intimidation. And I knew I would be interviewing with Dick, and maybe Jim Snyder. I knew he would be my immediate boss, but I had Murderer's Row, as I called it. It had Dick, Jim, and Bazzo, and Don Groen there. All four of them. And thankfully I passed the test, and 30 years later I can live to tell about it. But back then I didn't know it, but Dick had gotten my name. I had interviewed previously with Larry Carr, who was with Wells Fargo at the time, for the same position I am in now. And I thank my lucky stars every day that they didn't offer me a position, because I would have jumped at it. I don't know if you've ever been to a grain elevator in the winter.
Is it cold?
It is a little chilly, and there's nothing like the feeling of climbing an icy runged bin to check the level of whatever grain is in the bin, and having the breeze blow through your hair on a cold January. That's when I had hair.
Yeah.
Cold January morning to see. My gosh, but it was great. I thank Tom for that job. It got me through, and fast forward to the interview. Had an interview with Larry Carr, didn't work out, and Dick and Larry had lunch later, and he got my name from Larry, and I can see him to this day writing my name down, because he was always a note taker.
Oh, sure.
Dick was a huge note, and he was a great listener. I mean, he picked up on things that normal people would not even. But he got my name, and of course he had to run me through the ringer. He asked his daughter Nancy Belcher. Nancy, it's not Belcher now, but it's. He said, "What about this Ben Daulton guy?" She said, "Well, I think he's okay." So.
So you thank Nancy then for the job?
I do.
If she didn't say you were okay.
Nancy Brewster. Getting older, I can't remember last names. But anyway, yeah, so I got hired in 1995, and just some of the changes, my gosh, over the years, from wardrobe. I mean, when I first started, you had to wear a suit and tie every day. Women had to wear dresses and business attire. It was Monday through Friday, and finally Dick relented and gave us casual Friday, the last Friday of the month, where you could wear, you didn't have to wear a tie, you had to wear nice, but no jeans. And then gradually it became every Friday, and then to today's, we don't hardly wear a suit at all. Todd does. He's yes. And then the technology changes. Oh my gosh! Just I can remember going on vacation back in '95, '96, and I would spend the first day or two answering not emails, phone messages.
Right.
We didn't have email back then. It was all via phone, and I dreaded coming back from vacation, because that was just, you had to deal with phone messages. now you can take your computer with you and keep up on everything, and I do. I mean, it's good. It's been a really good job for me and my family, and I can't imagine working anywhere else. I mean, the freedom that I do. Dick was a great boss. He never interfered, never questioned anything. He basically, as long as you did your job and were producing, he left you alone, and I respected him for that.
Speaking with Ben Daulton this morning, Mortgage Loan Originator in Rochester and Winamac branches. You're talking about been with the bank for 30 years. When you started in 1995, how many mortgage loan originators were there? Or roughly?
Well, we didn't have Elkhart. I don't think we had Elkhart and Mishawaka branches then, so we just had Bremen, Plymouth, Rochester, and Winamac.
Right.
So there was probably 5 or 6. I mean,
Just-
the
yeah.
branch managers were the
Sure.
loan originator in
Sure.
each.
Sure.
So I don't know.
Sure.
I was just thinking about that too. I was
Yeah, our
rounding
family of
off
originators have grown quite a bit
yeah,
too
we
since
have.
then.
But just the longevity of the employees there. I was
Yes.
just thinking about Rochester, and there are probably 8 people above me in seniority.
Yep.
Cindy Tilden, Tommy Brock, Amy Severance,
Yeah.
Brandy Buzzard, Mindy Mars,
Yeah.
Cheryl Evans, and I think Julie Moore are ahead of me. But we all have almost 30. I'm
Right around
now.
right, yeah.
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 So that just speaks to the family atmosphere we've had that Dick fostered and created, you know, and hiring good people. So it's been an awesome 30 years, that's for sure.
One thing I want to hit on real quick before we stop is that in those 30 years you were talking about different changes and everything. How about changes to the rate environment and housing market in those 30 years?
Yeah, over the years, and right now we're kind of, you know, over the years, rates ebb and flow.
Oh, sure.
We're in pretty good flow right now. Rates are 7.38, so I'd like to see those come down, and I'm hoping that after the new administration takes office in next spring, first quarter, I hope to think that rates come down, but it you never know.
Control
We'll
the
see.
controllable, right? That's
Exactly.
something you and I can't really control. So.
And you know, I'd like to see some more houses on the market here locally. The inventory has been down for a while. I don't know what the answer is there. It is what it is. And I was in Manchester, they're closing here earlier this summer or this week, and same thing. I talked to the realtor there. She said, I just don't have any listings.
I think that's pretty common around
It is.
any area that you talk to realtors right now, unfortunately.
For sure.
But Ben, thank you for joining me this morning. Thank you for the great customer service that you give our customers, and you have done so for the past 30 years, and will continue to do so until you're ready to retire.
Yeah, that's getting closer and closer.
All right, Randy, trivia time. What is the most searched cereal on Google? Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, Raisin Bran, or Rice Krispies?
Well, my initial is Rice Krispies, but then I get thinking because you said it was Raisin Bran Day,
Yeah.
whether it
I
could be
didn't know if
that.
he dropped that clue.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure if that was a clue that he was dropping, so I'm going to go with his clue there and say Raisin Bran.
Rice Krispies.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Rice Krispies is
Yeah,
the
okay.
correct answer.
Sure.
Threw it in there just to,
it
just
worked.
to, just to
You
fool
caught
everybody.
somebody.
So Rice Krispies is the most searched, and I gotta think that's because you can use Rice Krispie treats and some different other dessert
Oh, lots of
recipes.
different
You can
things,
use, We'll close with some words of wisdom this morning from Benjamin Spock, an American scientist. Trust yourself. You know more than you think you do.
Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you, Todd,
Thank you.
Taylor. We'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you again next week.